Hey guys, welcome back to CrossFit Milford. I'm Coach Jeff with our head coach here, Jason, and we have two new guests that we don't typically have here when we're at the whiteboard. We're here with Ryan Kanonchik and Albie Sakandi.
Is it Kanan or is it Kanachik?
Kanonchik. I got
Correct.
it. I got it. Don't worry about it. These guys are also coaches at CrossFit Milford, and today our discussion is going to be a little bit about the CrossFit Games recap. So I'm going to be passing it around, asking a few questions, and trying to get everybody's opinion on what we thought of this year's 2017 Reebok CrossFit Games. So I'm going to start with Coach Jay. He, of course, is the head coach of the team, and the first question, the first discussion point as we go around the table is how do we think our CrossFit Milford team did, which finished 7th overall? Tied for 6th overall. Yeah. So Jay, go ahead and give us your opinion of kind of how things shook up and what you thought about how the team's performance.
So I think the team did awesome. I think the team finished 10th in the world, top 10 in the world, right? So I think the objective is always to win. Everyone wants to stand on the podium. Everybody wants to be top 3 and be recognized, have that medal. So that's always there. But I think if you're able to look at the silver lining and strip that away, we took this team that's only been together not even a full year of training together, and they were a top 10 team in the world, tied for 6th. We got bumped to 7th because Invictus had a higher finish than us, and got to compete in the final workout in the Coliseum on Sunday. And I think that's amazing. I think if we look at their training throughout the year, they bonded so good as a team. Every team has their ups and downs, and they really overcame that. And they just had a great experience in the inaugural games in Madison. I think on top of that, we had a ton of athlete presence there that did awesome, right? So we look at Jackie, who did amazing there.
She's in the team division.
Yeah, team division. We had another, 8 or 9 masters, and 3 of them podium. Robbie Davis took 1st, Andy took 3rd, Sean took 1st, Mike Egan was just out there finishing 4th, Amy and Donna did awesome, Ron had a great, and I think just the format of the games was hard on the masters and the teenagers based off of how much wait time they had, how much lag time they had, and it got really hard for them to. I remember one day they had to show up at 6, they waited around to go on the obstacle course till 8, and then they waited like another 4 hours or 5 hours for a workout. And I think that took its toll. I think everyone was nervous, and we just want to kind of get it under the belt. And for some people, not having a strong workout to start and then having more wait time and more lag time, I think it was hard on them. But I think with that being said, I think people did great. We did a lot of work with Danny leading into the games. Danny Horan, I think she did awesome at the games. We worked with Haley leading into the games. And we stopped with her, but she did great. So I think all in all, everyone had an amazing experience at the games.
And I think that's kind of telling as to what the CrossFit Milford family has done for a lot of people and what they've done for us, because we do have a lot of names that were at the games, a lot of different teams and masters athletes. I'm going to go to Ryan next. For those of you that don't know, Ryan was on our 2015 CrossFit Games team that finished 2nd worldwide. And so Ryan, I guess my question for you is, how do you think that this season's games were different, how they have evolved? And what you thought from, I guess, that competitive standpoint, what you thought of the team's performance at the games as well.
I'd like to start talking about the team. I was away at the time, and I was texting Katie to kind of figure out what was going on. And the videos that I did see, I saw a lot of comparisons to our team in 2015. For us in 2015, it was definitely the earthworm workout that kind of changed things. We took 1st place in that event, and we had this huge surge in just energy and kind of positivity towards doing better and better, and we continued that throughout the rest of the weekend. And I think that same thing in day 2, just the mixture of the workouts, just kind of like the whole team came together. And the thing about viewing it online is a little bit tough because you only get glimpses of your team, but every time I saw us finish, they were coming back together and kind of you could just see the energy among them, and they just wanted to get to the next workout and do even better.
Did it remind you of when you were there in 2015?
Yeah, I was actually texting Katie. I was like, Katie, this is very 2015-esque. Like, this is kind of cool to see you guys do this.
I think every year after the games, Ryan's like, I'm going to make a comeback. I want to come back. And then,
the Masters are right around the corner.
Yeah, Masters right in the corner.
I'm gonna go to Albie now. Albie's worked with the team, on their gymnastics, and Albie's a full-time coach here, so he's around the team all the time. And I'm just going to kind of say the same question. As an observer, what did you think of these guys as they trained all year? And I'll ask you kind of what were your expectations of them going in and kind of what you thought of their performance at the games?
Well, I think Jay made a good point. I think at regionals, he said he picked the 6 best players, best teammates that would mesh together as a team. And I think that's what I really saw. I saw 6 team members that flowed together. You could tell that they were like a team. And I think that's one of the biggest things going into the games is you gotta work together as a team, and you could tell that from the training that was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now, Jay, I'll come back to you. Let's talk about the competition itself. In the past few years, people were, I don't know, maybe complaining a little bit about the tests and about the workouts. I know that Murph in that hot California sun was kind of a point of contention. What was your opinion of the tests this year and how Dave Castro kind of handled the whole event?
My opinions this year were honestly the same as my opinions every year.
Yeah.
Where I think it was great.
Yeah.
It's CrossFit, and when people complain about the tests and complain about the workouts and don't do CrossFit, you know what to expect. This is the CrossFit Games. You don't know what they're gonna do. Dave wants to try to kill people. He wants to try to find out who's gonna be the fittest person, the fittest team, through their means and through their definitions of fitness and through their definitions of what the tests are gonna be. So you have to be willing to expect anything and everything. And if you're not ready for that, then that's a shame on you.
Yep.
It's not a shame on CrossFit and what they decided to test this year, right? So I thought the test was great. I love the run, swim, run. I love Madison.
Yeah.
I think Madison was super clean. They're super inviting. I mean, everywhere you in the airport, and there's pictures of Katrin doing a handstand walk coming out of the terminal. You go to most airports and it's like, JetBlue or a Sony thing. It's like it's Katrin, right?
Yeah.
Or it's Matt. So that was pretty cool. Like everywhere you went, there's posters on hotels and restaurants. There was posters of other CrossFit Games. Everyone knew we were there. Everyone wanted us there, and that's what I really liked. I think I went out for breakfast at some spot on the last day, and I see Sean and the media crew there, and we have coffee and eggs, and the hostess and the owners there talking to us about the CrossFit Games. They're all excited about it.
It was a big event around
the
community.
and I think that made it a huge plus. I think the tests themselves are great. The run, swim, run was awesome. I love how they do that. I loved how they brought in the hay for the burpee jump overs, which was brutal. Probably one of the hardest workouts ever, right? And the simplest component, just jump over a barrel of hay and carry someone on a litter. I thought the Coliseum was awesome. And I had a good talk with Sean about this, super clearly, was the process of Madison wasn't necessarily to make it like this bigger, more extravagant, crazy thing. The process of Madison was to make it more inviting and welcoming community, because LA just wasn't like that. And I think they really found that.
Yeah.
And I think the tests were great. I definitely think the Masters component was tough. Because this, the Masters would be going at the same time as the teams, at the same time as individuals, and some of the Masters were positioned in a cow barn or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So it almost felt like they were definitely getting kind of the short end of the stick on some points. But I think they've figured out a way to work that out. This is the first year there. There's going to always be hiccups. Anybody who takes something that big and puts it at a brand new venue and doesn't expect hiccups is living on a different planet. You're always going to have hiccups. It's just a matter of fact. It's just a matter of if they can fix those hiccups moving forward, which I think they will. But I love the workouts. I thought they were super. I thought they were new. I thought they were fun. I liked them. I like the obstacle course. That's pretty cool. So,
and I want to talk to Ryan a little bit about give us your perspective of what the tests, what the workouts feel like at the CrossFit Games. There are a lot of members in the community that, you may look at someone working out and go, God, he's got to go. Well, but we don't understand necessarily what you're feeling when that's happening, right? So from the perspective of how hard the workouts are, what your body kind of goes through, how it feels to recover and kind of compete in extra events throughout the day, what does it feel like as a competitor to go through these tests that Dave?
One thing is just preparation going into the games. You're really peaking at that point.
Yeah.
And when you look at a workout, it might look simple. We've all come in and worked out and this workout looks easy, and it's the hardest thing you've ever done before. I think when you're at the games, it's you just take one workout at a time. And I know Jason, every time we were done with the workout, okay, that's done.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next one. And you just got to approach every single workout, same as in the games or here in the gym. You have to do the same thing and say, all right, how am I going to approach this workout and know your role, especially on a team.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about what it feels like, though. I know when you're competing, you're under the lights or whatever it may be. It's awesome to have people watching you and the energy's crazy. But what does it feel like when you're in the middle of one of those workouts?
It just depends on the workout. So 30 calories on a bike is probably the worst thing, as we know from the games, I've ever done before, and then 50 clean and jerks
with the worm.
Yeah, so that's tough. That's way different from max clean and jerk.
That's hard to watch.
Yeah, that's way different from just a max clean and jerk.
Right.
There's nerves involved, and then there's just complete exhaustion. Sure. There's the complete spectrum when you're at the games and everything in between.
Cool. I actually have something funny to say about that. So during the litter workout, we fell a little behind. Christina and Katie and Siobhan came out on the litter. I think it was like the last round, right? So they're dead, just dead tired. And they come out, and I'm like, I position myself so every time the team would leave the workout in the litter, like I'm literally right there, like 2 feet away from them. So I'm like hanging over the railing, yelling at them to kind of like push harder, and they get past me, and they had this look on their face like they're about to die. And I look over the person right next to me, and I'm like, I know that they're pushing as hard as they can. Like I know that in their minds they're like, listen, dickhead, if we could fucking go faster, we would probably go faster. Like, and I just think it's funny how sometimes I feel compelled to have to, come on, when it's like, you're doing everything you possibly can. Like the last thing you need sometimes is someone yelling, and I get that. I just thought it was funny because like they're going through the feeling of just death, and I'm telling them to die harder.
Yeah. And I'll give just a quick opinion being there as well as about and I keep calling it the tests. You know, going in, the confidence that we had in our male athletes was pretty high, and even seeing the way that they were kind of humbled, let's say, by the assault bike partner deadlift workout, just proved to me that they're pushing the envelope and they're making things difficult for even the top guys. So I thought that the tests were incredible, because even if you have someone who has super high expectations, the workouts are pretty darn hard. Pretty darn hard. So I guess the last thing I'll bring up is the venue, and I'm gonna start with Albie. Like Albie wasn't there, but you know what would be your thought? You know, let's say you want to go next year. Like, what would you expect from a venue of Wisconsin? You know, what do you think? Have you been to California?
I've been to the games twice.
So what do you think would be different if I said to you, 1 year we're in California, next year we're in Wisconsin?
What's in Wisconsin? What is out there? You know, kind of I'd say a lot of fun going out to California is the experience of going out to California.
Yeah.
So, you know, when I heard Madison, I think a lot of people's reaction was just like, cheese, like, you know, what else?
Oh, the cheese, there was cheese.
But from what Jay said, you know, I mean, you know, the city sounded, you know, beautiful and everything about it. So, I would definitely be looking forward to going out.
Yeah, and it was cool because we were talking about the small town feel. It was on the news every night, and the whole community was kind of geared around it. Right? Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, before going, I had the same reaction. I was like, Madison, where, why?
Yeah.
But once you saw it, and just like Jay described, like you're watching everyone's Instagram videos, and you're like, that looks like a cool place to go.
Yeah, it really exceeded expectations. Jay?
Yeah, I mean, I think I touched on that in your talk on the test, but I love Madison. I think it was awesome. Same thing, like when he announced it, I was like, all right, well, he said, trust me. And I was like, all right, well, I guess we got to trust him. We got no choice. But yeah, I think it was cool.
Cool. Yeah. So I guess we'll kind of start wrapping up there, but you know, I just want to kind of talk about going forward. It's been pretty interesting. Jay and I had a conversation just the other day about you know, what we're doing here at CrossFit Milford, and you know, the past 3 years we've put 3 different teams in the games, and maybe as we go forward we can kind of figure out why. You know, it's not necessarily just Jay's great programming for the team, but there's something special around here at CrossFit Milford, and we're gonna dive into. Well, of course, we're gonna dive into why, into the whys of why the team's so good, and why we have so many masters, and why, you know, why people trust Jay and trust us here at the community.
You guys too, yeah. And I think a lot of that just comes down to everyone has passion, but I think it's applying the passion appropriately to what you're doing, and I think it's also continually everybody as a unit, as a team, trying to improve and trying to change and trying to adjust, and their willingness to listen to the athletes and make adjustments based on what we need to, and understanding that it's not about us, it's not about what we do, it's about them. And I think incorporating that to their best, to their ability to kind of be the best they can be,
to their
is
potential.
what happens. Yeah.
Well, don't give too much away. We're gonna save that for another video.
Moving forward, next video, moving forward, what to do now as you get ready for the CrossFit Games.
So we'll be, thanks guys for joining us. We'll be coming back to you very soon. I think I'm looking at the wrong camera. We'll be coming back to you very soon, so stick with us here at CrossFit Milford and CrossFit Milford Athletics. Thanks a lot, guys.